Have you ever been bitten by a rabbit? Working with so many rabbits in need over the years to rehabilitate them, I've been bitten quite a few times, and I can tell you, it hurts. Rabbits can bite hard and they can bite quickly. Let's talk about rabbits and biting. Why are they doing it, and how should we respond? Since rabbits are prey animals, biting is not part of their natural baseline behavior toward us humans, unless they have a reason. When a rabbit bites, it's not random, and it's not because they're mean. It's simply communication. When you understand what's driving that behavior, you can change how your rabbit responds to you over time. There are several common reasons rabbits resort to biting, and most of them come back to one core issue. Your rabbit does not feel safe. One of the most common causes of a biting rabbit is fear-based defensive behavior. This is especially true of rabbits who have had harsh beginnings. Rabbits that have been neglected or mishandled, or they've lived in environments where they had no control over what happened to them, they learn to associate humans with danger. When a rabbit learns early on that humans are unpredictable or unsafe, they don't have many options. They can't run or avoid what they sense as danger when they're kept in a very confined space. Rabbits can't fight the way a predator can, so they do the only thing they can to protect themselves. They bite. Another very common reason rabbits sometimes bite is territorial behavior. If a rabbit is confined to a cage or a small enclosure, especially for long periods of time, that space becomes their entire world. When an uninvited hand enters that space, it can feel like an invasion to the rabbit. One of the biggest reasons rabbits become aggressive is overcaging. Historic teachings about these animals has caused much harm. Forcing these animals to live in cages for any reason is disrespectful to their base nature. Rabbits need a lot of space. In fact, their biology demands it. We know that many people have rabbits for purposes other than pet rabbit ownership. However, using rabbits for agriculture or other purposes does not change their needs or their biology. When rabbits don't have enough space, enough freedom, or any control over their environment, frustration will build, and that frustration often turns into defensive aggression. There's also learned behavior. If a rabbit has bitten in the past and the human immediately pulled away, the rabbit learns something very quickly. Biting creates distance. The rabbit may not reason through it like a human would, but he does learn that biting gives him a tiny bit of control. And as a result of that association, the rabbit may repeat biting behavior next time he feels threatened or fearful. Another piece that's often overlooked is miscommunication. Rabbits communicate constantly through their body language. Subtle signs like ear position, body tension, freezing, or shifting away from you. These are all signs that a rabbit is uncomfortable. If the human misses those signals and interactions continue, the rabbit may escalate to a bite. And why wouldn't the rabbit do this? His quieter communication was not heard nor respected. Hormonal factors can also influence biting behavior. Rabbits that have not been spayed or neutered go through this juvenile phase where their behavior can change significantly. They may become more territorial, more reactive, and more prone to aggressive responses. A lot of people who are new to rabbit care don't realize how important spaying and neutering is, not just for health, but for behavior. Surging hormones in a rabbit are very strong. Those surging hormones are responsible for all kinds of undesirable behaviors in these animals. Sometimes a rabbit biting a human is accidental. For example, If you're offering your rabbit a treat, he may become excited and lunge forward to grab it. If your fingers are in the way, you can get nipped. This isn't aggression. It's just enthusiasm and a bit of miscalculation on the part of the rabbit. One of the most important things to understand in all of this is what not to do. Disciplining a rabbit for biting does not work. In fact, it makes the problem worse. This is especially true for rabbits that come from harsh beginnings or traumatic backgrounds. If a rabbit already believes that humans are unsafe and then they're punished for trying to protect themselves, any discipline will only reinforce fear. In that situation, what a rabbit perceives is, I was right not to trust humans. Trust is everything with rabbits. Discipline is not only ineffective, but it breaks down the relationship even further. People who have years of experience rehabilitating many different rabbits know that the goal is always to build trust. We show the rabbit that humans can be gentle, they can be kind and respectful. Adding more trauma to a rabbit's experience of humans will only make matters worse. Rabbits don't need discipline. What they need is to feel safe. They need consistency and patience. And they need interactions that consistently build trust rather than breaking it over and over again. The good news is, aggressive behavior in rabbits does not have to be permanent. When you start addressing the root cause, whether that's fear, environment, hormones, or communication, you will begin to see real change. That change doesn't happen through force. It happens through understanding. There's a lot of outdated information out there about rabbits. We know that people use rabbits for purposes other than pet ownership, and they sometimes publish information that makes it seem like the goal is just to keep the rabbits alive until their intended purpose is fulfilled. Regardless the reason, overcaging these animals is harmful. Whether the role of the rabbit in someone's life is pet ownership or agriculture purposes, humans do have a choice about what kind of life to give them. Rabbit behavior has been misunderstood for a very long time. Inaccurate information still circulates today. Information that advances harm to these animals also circulates. This leads to confusion on the part of anyone trying to learn proper care and handling of these animals. If humans continue to disrespect the animal's nature and need for space, these problems will just get worse with time. Alongside outdated or harmful information is good information. For those who are committed to compassionate care and handling, knowledge about rabbit behavior, body language, and emotional needs is advancing. We have access to more credible information, and we can approach even difficult or aggressive rabbits in a completely different way. If you're dealing with a rabbit that bites, lunges, scratches, or otherwise seems aggressive, it's probably not because he's broken. He's simply trying to communicate something important. The question is, are you willing to listen?